Welcome back to the channel. Thank you guys for hanging with me for another video. So I want to talk about the summer shallow fishing compared to the spring, the fall, and the winter months. Now, I like to fish shallow year round, and typically you're going to have a decent shallow bite no matter where you're fishing at 12 months out of the year. Now, obviously in the spring, you're going to have most of the fish on the lake moving shallow, and in the summer, a lot of fish do like to go deep. So there is a big difference on bait selection because the fish you're fishing for in the later months have seen everything. You know, if they're going to stick around shallow longer, they've seen all the chatterbaits and lipless crankbaits in the earlier months, and they've seen a lot of, you know, soft plastics and stuff around the spawn. And now once we get into the summer and later, if you want to catch big fish shallow, a topwater is very important. So I've done other videos about cranking, and a crankbait is still a really realistic option for bass. I don't see as much quality, but you're still going to get bites. You know, you're not always going to be fishing for 5-pounders, but you are going to still pick up 1s and 2s. So I don't ever take that crankbait off, but I do know if I want to have a really good day in the summer shallow, a topwater bait is going to be the deal. So I need to catch most of my fish on that. So what is my first favorite topwater bait that I'm going to really implement in the early months, the early summer months rather? It's a frog. And the reason for this is that once you get later into the year, you know, I'm talking August, September, the fish have seen a lot of frogs because you can start catching them on a frog in April. So now that we are almost in June, this is still kind of the beginning part of the frog bite. But once you get later, July, August, they've seen a lot of frogs. Everyone throws a frog. It is a great bait. And for that reason, the fish become aware of it and they start slapping at it. You don't get them you don't get them good, rather, later in the year. Earlier in the year, the fish get it and they love it. So this is the time of year where you have to take advantage of the frog, because I've had some of my worst frog days where I got maybe close to 15 bites and landed 5 of them. And that's going to happen as they see more frogs. But this time of year, in the month of June, bass choke a frog. So if you're fishing shallow, you know, it's going to be around bushes, shade, maybe docks. There's a lot of different options. A frog is the deal. And if you have clouds, rain, you know, you have a barometric pressure that is dropping, they're going to, you know, just get shallow and get in the grass or whatever kind of cover you have shallow. This is an awesome bait. So for a frog, it is always 50-pound braid. It doesn't matter if I'm fishing mats or I'm fishing bushes, whatever it may be. Always 50-pound braid. I like to go between a 7 and a 7'6", heavy action rod, and then a high-speed reel. Very important. And on a frog, unlike a lot of other topwaters, you do not let them have it for very long. The second you see the blow up, you got to be setting the hook. So that is very important with the frog. They do not like to eat it and swim and hang on with it. If you are not setting the hook immediately, you are going to lose them. But that's the deal for me this time of year. You really have to take advantage. It's my favorite bait if you're fishing around cover in the month of June, because they haven't seen it a whole lot and fish just become smart. You know, a topwater bait is just a silhouette. You know, they can't really get a good look at it. It makes it a really realistic option, and therefore you're going to trick those bigger fish. And I've had this happen to me so many times where I'm just going to keep throwing a chatterbait. You know, double down on your strakes. I'm a great chatterbait fisherman. I'm just going to keep throwing that. And the guy in the back of the boat is wearing me out on a topwater. You know, I'm catching 2-pounders. He catches a 5-pounder. I catch a 1 3/4 pounds. He catches a 4-pounder. I catch another 2-pounder. He catches another 5-pounder. And that will happen. So very important. You have to throw a topwater if you want to catch quality bigger fish later in the year, the summer and on. So try that, guys. Good luck to you, and I'll see you on the water.